the lies and the truth, the pains and the gains, holding your leaders accountable for their actions and inactions on People's Parliament. Join millions of our people worldwide live tonight on BVI Channel 1 as we bring you People's Parliament, where we sit face to face with our leaders in different capacity, asking them probing questions for their actions and inactions. Time 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. tonight. Call our mobile or WhatsApp on 0810454533 or call our Skype BVI Channel 1 to ask your leaders questions and be the judge. If they fail to answer you on People's Parliament, they are not your leaders.
Hello, my esteemed viewers. This is BVI Channel 1, People's Parliament. I welcome you tonight to tonight's edition, and I'm happy to announce to you that we have a very important person, a father, a leader, the president of Igbo Development Foundation, in the person of Professor Timothy Uzodinma Nwala. He's already right here with me, and we'll be bringing you information about the recent visit to America, what transpired there, and what information you as an Igbo man need to get as per what is happening around Igbo nation. So this is a live program. I encourage you to share the link, tell your friends and families that they should hook up to this live program. You can call through the numbers on the screen. When we open the phone lines, calls are already coming in, but we would like to take calls after the president has spoken. The president of, please call us back later. Call us back later. We've not opened our phone lines. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Please call us back later. So I admonish you to wait. Call us when the lines are open, maybe in the next 10-15 minutes, so that we'll listen to our father, Professor Uzodinma Nwala. Sir, it's a pleasure having you on BVI Channel 1 People's Parliament.
Thank you very much, Chinedu. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, the world and the entire Igbo nation is looking at you right now. They want to hear from you about your trip to America recently, what transpired there, and the motive for that trip, and what you came out of the trip with. The Igbo people, even the Biafran people, are eager to know what you got from that trip.
Chinedu, thank you very much. That trip was taken as a result of the directive by A.D.F leadership. A.D.F has been very anxious to get physically in touch with our people in the diaspora, to get a feel of how they see events in Nigeria and the position of the Igbo man in the scheme of things. It happened that the visit coincided with the International Convention of the World Igbo Congress. So the journey started from there. I was at the World Igbo Congress Convention in Nashville, and there I met our people from different parts of America. I enjoyed the new spirit reverberating within the World Igbo Congress family, a family that has been in turmoil for some years. I was happy to notice that some of those who had broken away from this main body had come back. They invited me to address them, which I did, emphasizing precisely the situation in Nigeria today and how they affect the Igbo man. Before then, I had had some private conversation with some of our people and noticed so much anxiety on their part. So much anxiety. And some of them feel indeed that the situation today, with regard to the plight of the Igbo man, is worse than it was during the Biafra war. There was so much despondency on the part of our people, not knowing what to do. Many of them are already aware of the dangers facing the Igbo man, a situation which has put the average Igbo man in a situation where he doesn't know whether he should move forward or backwards, left or right. We discussed all that, particularly the invasion of Ali Igbo by the Nigerian army, which you find at every nook and cranny of Igbo land today. When you don't find the Nigerian military, you find the Fulani herdsmen all over the place. And then there is the state of military occupation, very violent military occupation, as if the Nigerian military are dealing with their enemies. We know what happened during their so-called Python dance of last year and the one of this year. What happened to our women who were innocently protesting for the release of one of their sons, Nnamdi Kanu. You know what happened to them? It's indescribable. So we discussed all that. We discussed particularly the position of the Igbo man today with regard to what we want in Nigeria. Do we want to continue as things are? Or do we want a situation where we'll be in charge of ourselves, our destiny, our ancestral homes? We discussed what is happening in the various departments of the state, the military, the executive, the judiciary, the entire economic sector, and apparent war being waged against Igbo business people, as if they are foreigners. We discussed so many of these things. And then the question then was, what is to be done? We also looked inwards into ourselves and asked ourselves, is there anything wrong with us, Igbo people, in the scheme of things? Are there areas we've done things wrong to deserve the state situation we have today? We discussed all that. And certain decisions were taken. Those decisions were the vow of our brothers in the family of World Igbo Congress to work together with other Igbo organizations to work towards the political and economic emancipation of the Igbo man. From there, we visited other parts of America. We were in Chicago, in Dallas, in Atlanta, in New York, in Washington, Maryland, New Jersey, and so on. Wherever we go, the situation is the same. Some of our people would love to come back home, who have been in America for years. They will come back home, they're homesick. But then where are we coming back to? A home that's already under siege, insecurity, when it is not coming from poverty of our youths. It is coming from the onslaught of the Nigerian military, the Fulani herdsmen, armed Fulani herdsmen. It's unfortunate indeed. So the resolution was to see the extent to which we can work hard to reverse the position of the Igbo man. Of course, there is the raging debate as to whether the Igbo man should continue to remain in Nigeria under the present circumstances, or whether the Igbo man should opt out of Nigeria by any means possible. We are aware of the Oka Declaration by Ohanes and Igbo, a declaration which the Buhari government has said it was a matter of personal agenda and dismissed them along with the others. Following that, A.D.F and other organizations have made and produced another document as a reaffirmation of the Igbo position. Therein, we've made two propositions. One, for us to continue remaining in Nigeria, we must have the status of an autonomous region, in charge of our economy, in charge of our security, in charge of our judiciary, in charge of all the basic elements that make a people, including freedom of religious worship. We have defined what this means in a book which was authored by Ali Igbo Foundation and has been endorsed by most Igbo organizations. They call the book the Green Book. A synthesis of it was what was presented at Enugu during the 28th July event, which is now called Enugu Declaration, which is an update on the Oka Declaration. We've also said, looked through the pages of history, and found that the Igbo man has been a great harbinger of freedom. We fought for freedom at various stages of our lives. During the colonial period, our women were 1929. Our ebullient politicians, Zik and others, were at the forefront of Nigerian nationalism and freedom, not only in Nigeria but in Africa. When you go outside the shores of Nigeria, Haiti was established by Igbo people in quest of freedom and self-determination. As I was traveling through America, North Carolina, and other places, I had very heartwarming stories of our history, of our past. Last time we were at the Igbo landing, when we visited America, we had 14 Igbo slaves. Rather than disembark and land in the shores of America as slaves, they rather preferred to drown themselves, and drowning they did. We know that Igbo man has been a great man who's very proud of his freedom, who above all is very proud of his friendship with non-Igbos. We have a popular saying, Onyije Enwilo. Igbos all over the whole place, not only in Nigeria, but in various parts of the world. So, and we have said that if our neighbors, particularly those in control of the hegemony of Nigeria, do not want us to live on equal terms, live as free people in an autonomous region of our own, we believe no matter how many centuries it takes our people, ultimately the Igbo nation will be free. And free it will. Our people would rather have their own independent republic rather than continue to remain as slaves in Nigeria. Well, that is what transpired during the visit.
All right.
Very
okay, that is very wonderful, Prof. Some of our viewers out there, they have been dropping very wonderful commentaries. They liked what you said. They They're saying thank you, they appreciate you. Some even come up to say that they can't see you properly, that you should just come closer to your camera so that they will see this man, this our father. In fact, some of them are, it seems that they are seeing you for the first time live on a program like this. So they really appreciate you, sir, and we really appreciate you for all you've been doing. You've made mention of Homeland Security. You made mention of the state of an Igbo man in Nigeria, the insecurity, the economic strangulation. Now, talking about that, let's start with this Homeland Security first. You had a green book, and after the Ohanes and Igbo made their own declaration in Oka, you came up. Even before then, you had this green book, the working document, which have been presented to both Ohanese and other pro-Igbo organizations. What can you give a definite demand from that green book? What the Igbos want, or what they demand in the contemporary Nigeria? That's in a specific term. Is it restructured Nigeria that will see Nigeria create more states? Is it a restructuring that will give a definite autonomous region? You mentioned that already, but want it to be categorically clear what the A.D.F stand on the condition of an Igbo man in Nigeria, what they demand, the barest acceptable minimum they can go with.
Well, Chinedu, we have defined this severally in various documents. The word restructuring has some extended meaning. It can mean a situation where you do some tinkering, some changes, some token of changes in the power equation. It can also mean a more radical, wholesome reorganizing. But I tell you frankly, some of us have been in the forefront of this business of working and pressing for a more equitable federal system. I was in the 1994-95 Constitutional Conference under Abacha's listing. I know how much we fought. I was secretary of the Igbo delegates. I was also secretary of the Southern delegates. I was also secretary of the Consensus Committee, headed by the late Chief Ekwemanda Bakari. I was in the #1 committee on the structures, power structures of Nigeria. I was also in the Constitutional Drafting Committee headed by Mama Nasa that put together all the decisions into a compact, comprehensive document, which was the 1995 draft constitution handed over to Abacha. But what happened after that? It was thrown into the waste paper basket because the forces of hegemony do not want any tinkering that will alter the power equation and free their slaves. Am I also aware of Obasanjo's dialogue? We presented a document, a memo to our delegates about that period, that event. I remember when I met late Barrister Nwakama, former Commissioner of Justice in Imo State. He called me and said, "Tim, we want to thank you and your people. You made our work very easy. We saw everything as if it was a mirror." They did a good job after that. That document didn't see any light of day. I also remember the Puta panel, when our people worked hard. Those of us in Nsukka worked hard give Chukwumerije Committee support to produce a document which Ohaneze presented. What happened to that? We're aware of the Jonathan Conference. At that point in time, A.D.F had come into this. We finished that colloquium. And we took a decision to submit a memorandum to Igbo delegates. About 10 or 12 of us went there. I was there. Pat Naji was there. And several other leaders of A.D.F. We presented that document. Our people did very well. That document came out. What has happened to it? And of course, you hear even the banal demand for restructuring, which I know those who demand it don't have an idea of how to match restructuring, meaningful restructuring with the state of the Nigerian Republic today.
Okay, sir. Now, because of time, a lot of people are already reacting to your commentaries. We will quickly take some of the commentaries from our social media. But before we go there, I admonish you, this is a live program. You can call the line you're seeing right there on the screen to ask your question or to make your submission very briefly, because we have little time to spend on this program. So the numbers to call remain +234 if you're calling from outside Nigeria, 0810-4545-533. You add +234 if you're calling from outside Nigeria. This is BVI Channel 1, and we're on People's Parliament, where we have our father, who is right here with us, telling us about his visit to the USA and his position, the position of A.D.F. with the current agitation for self-determination of Biafra people and the homeland security of the Southeast. Now, the numbers to call, if you're calling, the lines are now open. You are free to call right now so that you can make your submission. Then before we proceed to collecting your calls or taking your calls, I will advise that you can, when calling us, please make sure you turn down your listening device. Make sure that it is not coming out to interrupt or to distract our program. So that is it for that. If you are calling, please, you call and you have little time to talk to us. Now, Prof, we'll be going to the commentaries, but before then, I want to ask some question. The Akuluono philosophy, I know that A.D.F is at the front of it. They are the ones pushing so hard that Igbo should be developed. People should bring back their wealth home. But we have seen the situation that have been discouraged our people from investing in their homeland. Talking about security, talking about economic viability, and other social factors. How far have A.D.F gone to meet some of these governors, or all the governors, not even some of them, all of them? Because they have an important role, they have great role to play to ensure that this place is economically viable for investment. So what is your rapport, and what are the responses you've been getting from the Southeast government or the Igbo-speaking states, the governors of Igbo-speaking states? So we want to get an insight of your relationship with them, with this philosophy of Akuluono.
Well, the program Akurulo, Invest at Home movement, when we launched it, we had a forum of Igbo businessmen in Abuja. We had a forum of Igbo businessmen in Lagos. And we had the first Igbo Businessmen's Conference in Enugu. followed by a program we had in Awka, where we tried to honor those Igbo businessmen we had identified have been very patriotic in trying to develop Igbo land, quite many of them. I remember during that program, Governor Biano played host to us, not only providing us accommodation, but his deputy chaired the conference. He was the guest speaker during this thing. We've also tried to be, we are not theoreticians per se, we are also practical men. We've undertaken a tour, business tour, to find out exactly what the problems are with investment in Igbo land. And we took Anambra as a typical example, from Newe to Anisha and parts. And what we found out there was quite inspiring, particularly what happened in the time of Mr. P2B, and also continue to happen under Obiano. The extent to which they have been trying to involve the people in development. They have been trying to encourage both home and foreign investment. In the case of P2B, we had testimonies from people like Innocent and others. And we saw, unbelievably, great industrial estate in Onitsha, which sprang up in P2B's time. But in the case of Innocent, as like other testimonies, Innocent told us that without P2B, he wouldn't have had the kind of business he had, because P2B encouraged him by giving him contract of 5 billion naira and paid him off front, which helped him to lay a foundation. Other businessmen gave the same testimony. That testimony we've been trying to spread around among our governors, how they should relate to the business people, how they should encourage them, provide land, provide enabling environment. We are also we'll be monitoring what's happening to businessmen here and there. We know of a case where somebody failed to get land in Igbo land, and he's now building a university or something close to that in Sokoto. Some other people are building massive investments in the western part of our country. Well, the governors are human beings. They have their limitations. They are also students. Many of them knew next to nothing about governance before they became governors. They are learning the ropes. One of the things that impressed us is that some of them are willing to learn. Some time ago, our brother Soludo embarked on a program which was meant to define a new economic developmental agenda for Igbo. But Nigeria has been doing that. A.D.F has produced a document on that also. But something I noted is that the governors, by their very nature, the challenges, their vulnerability, they need the people to be on the move. They need the people to guide them. That is why we are paying more attention to the people. When they buy the Invest at Home movement at Kurulo, the governors will have no option, all of them, but to follow suit. So we've been concentrating. We've had meeting with the governor of Enugu State. At some point, we had meeting with Rochas at the very beginning until we lost track and he went out of the radar. We've also had the men in Abia in touch with the governor. So the important thing is for this movement to catch the people. Let it grip the people. The governors will find themselves isolated and they'll have no alternative but to march along with the people. This is the way we're looking at it. Now, during this trip, the issue of homeland security, the issue of youth empowerment, poverty of our youth. It's as bad as when you come to some communities, you have northern chaps driving motorcycles, Okada and so on and so forth. But our Igbo chaps have nobody to encourage them, nothing to do about it. So we discuss all this with our brothers abroad and encourage them to look homewards. And we agreed we are going to put together some program that will help to revitalize Igbo. What we're asking our businessmen is not to dismantle their investments abroad and come back home, but at least to begin to invest a good part of that, to look towards home. Not just alone for the need of developing Igbo, but the fact that their businesses are vulnerable everywhere. When I came back from the US, I stopped over in Lagos. I met some of our business people. I almost shed tears when they narrated the kind of pressures against them here and there from the federal forces, how their businesses are being mangled, as if they are intruders in this nation. So I think that what is required is unity of purpose, particularly national integration of Igbo. We must begin to look inward, begin to see ourselves as a people. That's the way we are looking at this whole thing and the future.
Okay.
Most of the abroad have agreed to work with A.D.F in this direction. Thank you.
All right. Okay. The other Igbo organizations you met in US, they are in agreement with all the proposals of A.D.F and the regional autonomy, which I had some time that your organization is saying that it is either an autonomous region or an outright independence. You go for outright independence of Biafra. Do you agree with that?
That is the position of A.D.F, which has been echoed and supported by most Pan-Igbo organizations, including IPOB.
Okay. Because some people are at some point don't understand how this whole thing is going to be done. Now, how do you intend to? It's a strategic question. I don't need to ask you that here on the screen. But what is the current reaction of the Nigerian government to your demands as to the autonomous region?
Well, the Nigerian government position is that even the so-called restructuring cannot be accommodated by the 1999 Constitution, which is their Bible, that artificial Constitution. And I say everything else is based on agenda. We won't be surprised that if they also dismiss A.D.F proposal, we've not had on them speak on that. Okay. But the point is that we are not asking the federal government to do this or do that for us. We're saying this is the direction in which the Igbo nation is going to move in the months and years ahead.
Okay, whether the Nigerian government wants it or not, I think you are pressing your international button to mount pressure on the system to acknowledge that Igbo people are going for their autonomous region or an outright independence from Nigeria. Because do you think Igbo as a nation, outside the other Biafran terrain, it's not all about the Igbos. Biafra is not all about the Igbos. You have other ethnic nationalities with Igbos. But do you think as an Igbo nation, do you think they can stand on their own as an independent nation?
You see, if the truth is this, as Awolowo noted, the problem with the Nigerian Federation is because different nations were brought together artificially. Biafra had that problem. For us, Biafra is a reflection of the yearning for freedom, which the Igbo nation yearns, which the Efi people yearn for, which the Jaw people yearn for. And we're saying that in future, the autonomous region, first and foremost, is an Igbo agenda which we believe is shared by our neighbors. And at the right moment, we'll get together with them to define clearly if all of us want to stay in the same autonomous region or not. It must be an act of free choice by them. We don't begin by imposing a political union on our neighbors. A lot depends on how we move.
Okay. All right. I think that is it. And to our viewers out there, you've had it all from our father, Professor Uzodinma Nwala. Some people have come up with their question. Someone has asked if A.D.F is pursuing the solely Igbo agenda, or if they are pursuing the Biafra aspiration. That's one of the questions we've gotten so far. And some of them are asking for referendum, the position of A.D.F to the demand for referendum. And we're getting some of this from our social media. That is what we're reading right now. Okay, he said, someone said that that Igbo nation needs a platform, a voice to speak for them in the global space. So someone said, okay, so Nkoli reporter said that you are a fearless leader. Say he loves your great work. That's a compliment from one of the followers of BVI Channel 1, and he's also a producer and a reporter of Eastern happenings in the Eastern region, that is the Igbo nation. Now, you also have someone said this. I don't know how you're going to react to this. If someone said that our people are mentally beaten. I can't really fix that, what he's trying to say there, but he said that they are not doing enough to stand and together and not reaching out to diaspora people from all over the world. So I think he's saying that, or she is saying, because this came from Roslyn or Abegowe. I think it's from the Riverine area. So she's saying that something got to be done to rally around our people in the diaspora too. Now we are reacting to some of the commentaries. I believe you're listening to them one after the other. We say going up and down Biafra referendum is only solution. Someone said that it is only referendum. That's what they want. We're taking more of the reactions from here. Someone said that we should build heavy number of protesting on TV all over the world. So that's one of the things they're saying. Okay, so someone said, they said, Cheers Project said, what exactly was agreed in US? That's the person is asking direct question to Prof. He said, what exactly was agreed in US? Working in unison is key. So you're going to react to that quickly? What exactly was agreed in US? Can you quickly react on that?
Yes. One very important decision that was first reached in Chicago, which Igbos in other areas, Dallas, New York, Atlanta, Connecticut, and so on, have echoed and agreed. And since I came back, I've been narrating this, reporting to our colleagues. Even before then, the Chicago communique was shared. One major decision is that we are going to hold an Igbo Global Summit, which will be hosted by our brothers and sisters in Chicago. Other Igbo communities have agreed, and we are to set up the machinery in motion. World Igbo Congress has endorsed it, other organizations have endorsed it. The purpose of the global colloquium is first and foremost to try and enhance the level of cooperation and working together, to try and hammer out a national spirit, esprit de corps, among Igbo nations, various organizations. Before we left, we were happy that over 16 pan-Igbo organizations, pro-Biafra organizations that came to Enugu for the presentation of the book and the Enugu Declaration, all of them took a decision that they are going to work together along with A.D.F. The same thing has happened when we went abroad. The World Igbo Congress doesn't see any other, sees A.D.F. as a major partner. Many other organizations see the A.D.F. as a major partner. So when we do meet in this thing, it will be first and foremost, first agenda will be to strengthen working together, unity. And of course, back home, Igbo national integration is fundamental. Getting our Eastern Igbos, Western Igbos, Southern Igbos, even Midwestern Igbos together. See whether we can rise to the level the Yoruba nation has gone. Today, when you talk of Yoruba, you're not talking about Southwest, you're talking about Yoruba nation, embracing those in Kogi, in Kwara, and so on. So that internal solidarity is important. And we hammer this out. We have to consolidate this when we do this thing. And I believe that global summit will also take vital decisions for the development of our Igbo, vital decisions on how to pursue our quest for an autonomous region, and vital decisions on how we're going to relate to our brothers in the Midwest, in the South-South, among the Yoruba nation, among the South-South, and so on. Unity of purpose with them is very important, So that is what we look forward to achieving during this summit.
All right, then the very last one, very quickly. But before I do that, I want to tell my esteemed viewers all over the world that this is a live program. You have less than 5 minutes to put out your call if you want to ask the Prof questions. If you want to make a submission on this program, you just have 5 minutes. A lot of you are dropping your comments there. We're not going to react to all of them because they are all too many. We're just going to take a few. If you're lucky, you just drop your call, we take it, and you make your submission in a jiffy if you want to, because a lot of people who are watching might want to listen to your own opinion too, or your own submission or question to our elder. Now, from the reactions we got here so far about referendum, more people are dropping comments here. Well, I'm not going to go through all that right now. Prof, to you now, I want to get from you, what is your opinion? What's your position on referendum? Because this has taken over so many topical issues surrounding the Biafra agitation and the Biafra groups, and opening up diplomatic channels in various platforms, like visiting some of international bodies like United Nations and all that. We want to get from you, as a father, as a prof, you are well exposed. Now tell us, or tell our esteemed viewers all over the world, your position about referendum. You've considered the Nigerian constitution, which you said under the current position of the constitution, it will be difficult to give the Igbo people what they demand for. And some people are saying constitutional revolution, because other people are saying referendum. So we want to get your opinion on how to go about this referendum of 18.
Well, if you read the Green Book, there are two phases of referendum in that book. One is to be preceded by an opinion poll. And an Igbo organization abroad had mandated some experts to conduct opinion poll among the Igbo as to what they want. That is not a form of referendum, but it is a kind of approximation. And they came up with a result that most Igbos want to be themselves. They want to have their own home, be in charge of their own home and their destiny. But A.D.F is also proposing that within the shortest time possible, we shall mobilize all the forces in Igbo land, all the Pan-Igbo organizations, and organize an internal referendum ourselves. That will be aimed at convincing first our brothers in Nigeria, those who live in the comfort zones, those who are being, who are trading with Igbo destiny, want to organize that referendum. Igbos globally, that is possible. A.D.F and other Pan-Igbo organizations will organize that referendum, which will arm us, unify us. Then we believe we get to the point, if indeed the Nigerian government wants to convince itself, if it is interested in convincing itself as to what the Igbos want, then we can all agree to have a United Nations supervised referendum for the future of Igbo.
Okay. All right. I think with that,
that is the two sets of referendum.
Okay. All right. I think with that, we'll be wrapping it up on this today's edition on Proposed Parliament, and we had Professor Uzodinma Nwala, and so many people are still bringing up their commentaries, but we're not going to take that anymore because time is fast spent. This is BVI Channel 1. If you're joining us for the first time on this platform, please ensure you click on the subscription button, on that red button there, click on it, subscribe, and click on the bell for notifications so that you will be always notified whenever we are up and running, whenever we drop any video uploads. And you can visit our website www.bvichannel1.com for news update. From the links you will see our app links. Please make sure you get them for your Android, iOS, and Windows. Get them when you have all the information at the tip of your finger. Before I wrap it up, one more thing. I'm going back to our father to give us his closing remark and tell us where people can access the Green Book very shortly.
The Green Book, the much we printed, a good deal of it have been consumed, is very much in hot demand. And we're going to produce as many as possible, so that every Igbo man and woman that's literate and wants a copy can get a copy.
Can someone get that online too? The Green Book?
Yes. Arrangement has been made by a committee to handle that as well as the book on the Civil War, on the war. And we're also arranging to translate it into Igbo language, into Igbo. Yeah. Above that, A.D.F is also consulting with other Igbo organizations to produce what we can regard to as Igbo National Charter, which will also contain the picture of the future we desire, of the republic we desire, of the values we desire, the position of our youth, of our women, of our business people, business ethics, political ideology, and so on and so forth. That document is already in the making.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you for giving us your time on People's Parliament. I will hope in subsequent time when we'll call you up, you will answer us. Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you very much, Chinedu, thank
and
you.
to my esteemed viewers, I want to appreciate you for watching this far. This is still BVI Channel 1, and I'm also Chinedu Peters on People's Parliament. Join me on all other subsequent programs. Share this video, like it, continue to drop your comment, and let's share our opinions together, and together we shall be free. Don't forget that information is power, and right here, we are not here for propaganda. I had a working feature, but we'll tell you the truth the way it is, and that is what we are. Our mantra remains: we see it, we say it. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you, and above all, stay safe. Goodbye.
Thank you.